Hey everyone, it's Mark Hespin here, host of On the Mark on News Talk 1070 KHMO, and welcome on into this Wednesday video update edition. Today I'm doing something a little different. In honor of 4th of July, tomorrow I am doing a list of the 10, what I'm calling legendary American athletes. The 10 most legendary American athletes. So how do I figure out who are the most legendary American athletes of all time? I'm going to start by saying there's a couple key factors in deciding who's a legendary athlete, and then we'll get into the top 10, okay? Number one key factor is that do they have the greatness factor? Are they larger than life? Do they have an aura? Do people still know about them today, even if they've done something, 100 years ago, whatever it might be? Do they have that legendary status? Also, were they a winner? Did they accomplish great things in their athletic field? So those are two huge factors. And then finally, I think 3 would be that kind of it factor. There's something about them as a person, as a human being, that they were able to accomplish something that has then lasted the test of time, right? So do they have that aura? Are they just an absolute legend? Did they actually win? Do they have records? Do they have stats we can point to? And then do they have that it factor, that special thing that they're just known for, remembered for? And so those are kind of the main categories I'm taking when I'm doing what I'm calling the 10 most legendary American athletes of all time, here to celebrate this 4th of July here. All right, so you ready for it? Let's jump into it. Coming in at number 10, and I think this is going to be the one that's maybe the most controversial, but I'm sticking to it. Number 10 is Joey Chestnut, the competitive eater, the hot dog guy. Joey Chestnut is as American as it gets. He's the greatest eater in human history. And he's an American, and he eats the most American food on the most American of holidays better than anyone has ever eaten them, hot dogs. Joey Chestnut, in all seriousness, has done something that should not be humanly possible. The record of 76 hot dogs in 2001. It's an insane record. He is an insane human being. Joey Chestnut also has a little bit of that American drama to him, right? He bursts onto the scene and beats Kobayashi. Kobayashi was the dominant guy in the sport. He had won it 6 times in a row at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. He comes in 2007 and then goes in 7 straight years, dominant factor, blows Kobayashi out of the water, loses the title in 15. Had some injuries, some health things, loses the title in 15 to what's his name? Stoney, or whatever his name was, Matt Stoney. And then falls from grace, returns to grace, 7 more years of dominance from 2016 to 2023. Now, obviously, you add in this kind of controversy with him being kicked out of the Nathan's hot dog contest. I think it adds the legend that is Joey Chestnut. Greatest eater of all time. We Americans are eaters. He eats better than anyone else. Joey Chestnut belongs on the list of the most legendary athletes in American history. So he's at number 10. Number 9, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt, not Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. Just that nickname alone. When I say Dale Earnhardt, you know what I'm talking about. 7 championships in NASCAR, tied with the great one, Richard Petty and Jimmy Johnson. But Dale Earnhardt is that legend because of not only the way he raced and earning the nickname the Intimidator, but also the fact that he lost his life doing what he loves at the most iconic track in American history at Daytona. And his death has led to incredible, great changes for NASCAR, making it extremely safe in an extremely dangerous sport. Dale Earnhardt, number 3, you can see that black Chevy round in the corner. Obviously, his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the legacy, the Earnhardt name. Was he technically the greatest driver of all time? No, I think you can make the argument he's in that top 3. You can make the argument he is, but I think there's room to discuss. It's not like Gretzky where it's so far and above. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Intimidator, NASCAR, America, dying at Daytona, absolute legend. Dale Earnhardt, I keep saying I want to say Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt belongs on the list of the 10 greatest, most legendary American athletes of all time. Number 8, Babe Ruth, the Salt and the SWAT. You just watch The Sandlot. That's the reason Babe Ruth's on this list. I don't need to say much more. He's the great Bambino. He will live on. Even kids today, 7, 8-year-old kids, to talk to nieces and nephews, talk to your kids. They know who Babe Ruth is because that's how legendary and how larger than life Babe Ruth was. He did it for the Yankees, home run king. He, smoked cigars, drank beers, ate hot dogs. He the first all-time giant hero and megastar in America's pastime of baseball. Babe Ruth belongs on the list of the 10 most legendary athletes in American history. Number 7, Jesse Owens. Now, Jesse Owens, for maybe some younger people who don't understand Jesse Owens, you know the name, like, oh yeah, Olympic hero. Jesse Owens, what he did in 1936 at the Olympics for America, winning 4 gold medals in the 100, the 200, the long jump, and the relay. First off, that wasn't a feat, wasn't reaccomplished again until the 80s. It was an incredible record, what he did, when he did it, but where he did it and who he did it in front of. He was representing America and the greatest nation on earth, coming out of World War I, right at the start of right before the start of World War II, in front of Hitler's face in Berlin. When Hitler was talking about how there's no great race except for whites, Jesse Owens shows up at the Olympics in Hitler's doorstep and just drops it right in front of his face. And just embarrassed Germany in Germany as a black American athlete. Jesse Owens will never not be on this list. He is a legendary American athlete. What he did for the American people, for his own people, and what he did for, people of the free world of all different races and colors in front of Hitler, in Hitler's house, you can't top it. Can't top it. Jesse Owens, all-time legend. At number 6, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods belongs on this list because he is not only the greatest golfer of all time, 15 majors, second to only Jack. You can make the argument Jack's maybe a technical better golfer than Tiger, but Tiger changed golf as we know it. There's the pre-Tiger era and the post-Tiger era. We're living in a post-Tiger era now where you see guys like Bryson DeChambeau driving at 400 yards on a par 4 and hitting the green. That's because of Tiger Woods. He changed the game. He changed the sport of golf. But also Tiger Woods is an American story. Young, prodigy, on TV. We see the growth. He's going to win 20 majors. He's going to win 30 majors. He's unstoppable. And then what do we like to do in America? The fall of a great American hero. Tiger Woods, the scandals with the waitresses and the cheating and his wife and all of this stuff. And he comes back, and now the injuries, and he's later in his career. And it had been, almost 9 years since he'd won a major, and then he wins it again at Augusta, puts on that green jacket for number 15. He comes back to the top of the mountain. Now the car wrecks and the coming back. Tiger Woods changed the sport. Tiger Woods is an American story. We love to build people up, to tear them down, to see them rise again. He is the definition, the poster boy of that American growth and story. Changed the sport. Tiger Woods is one of the 10 most legendary American athletes in U.S. history. Number 5, the top 5 is where we get serious now. And if you have any disagreements with these top 5, you're just wrong. You might switch the order up a little bit, but these 5 people belong on this list no matter what. These are legends, absolute legends. Number 5, Jackie Robinson. That's all I got to say is Jackie Robinson. He broke the color barrier. And he did it while also being a 7-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, an MVP, a great player, and the person who took on the weight and the responsibility of integrating a Major League Baseball. And with all of the pressure, with all of the hate and the vitriol he faced, he won Rookie of the Year, became an MVP, 7-time All-Star, all-time great player. Jackie Robinson Day, the number is retired for a reason, 42 throughout baseball. An absolute American legend. Number 4, Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The greatest boxer of all time. His nickname is literally the Great One. From really 1964 to 1979, a 15-year span, he was the most dominant athlete on the planet at times. Again, also, like Tiger, had moments of high highs and low lows. Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, an activist, person who was ingrained in American culture, did not shy away from a fight, whether it's political or in the ring, lost some incredible giant fights, won plenty more incredible giant fights. He is American as a story as it gets, Muhammad Ali, at number 4. Number 3, this person to me belongs this high purely mainly because there's no one else who can hold a candle to him when it comes to how he represented our country and the records he holds. That's Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian ever. Not just American Olympian, ever. 28 total medals. 28 total medals, spanning 4 games, 23 gold. He did it at the highest level for the longest time. Michael Phelps was the poster child for the modern American athlete and dominating at the games. Swimming, of course, different than running and sprinting. Some of these other, you can do it for longer and stay at your game for the highest of highs for longer. But look at Caleb Dressel, the current GOAT in American swimming. He couldn't even qualify again in the 2024 Olympics at his best event. Michael, for how long he did it, at the level he did it, second to none. He dominated other countries, Australia, China, other great swimming nations, Great Britain, for 20 years. It's incredible. 16 real years. I mean, when you look at the Olympics, how they stagger out 4 Olympics, Michael Phelps is the greatest, maybe the greatest just athlete of all time. And certainly one of the 10 most legendary American athletes ever. I have him at number 3. Top 2. You ready? Let's jump into it. Number 2, Tom Brady. Now, this might seem too high, but I would argue that Tom Brady is the only person who could be in the argument for number 1, but he's not number 1. He's number 2 because he is the greatest football player of all time. And football is America's most important and biggest exported sport. We are a football country. Yes, and baseball is America's pastime. Yes, we invented basketball, and basketball is now a global sport, but we are football. And we're talking about legends in American history. If you're the greatest football player of all time, you've transcended not only America. Tom Brady is an international superstar. 7 Super Bowl rings. It is ungodly. It's unheard of. It is a gigantic, gigantic accomplishment. Tom Brady also proving with that Tampa Bay Bucks Super Bowl win late in his career, he's more than just the Belichick system in New England. He is the system. Tom Brady has the records also for yards, completions, touchdowns, the longevity. He could still be playing in the NFL today. He was that good for that long. Truly, like something we've never seen. The only comparable to Brady is LeBron, but LeBron just hasn't won enough to even be compared to Brady. He's got all the records, got all the stats, got all the longevity, but he doesn't have as many rings. Tom Brady, the most dominant football player of all time, deserves to be number 2 on the list of the greatest legendary American athletes ever. Legendary. He's a legend, Tom Brady, at number 2. And number 1, 2 letters. I don't need to say any more. MJ. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the most legendary American athlete ever. He's maybe the most legendary athlete on the planet Earth. I don't know who holds a candle to Michael Jordan. Not only was it the winning 6 for 6, but what he did at the global stage in the Olympics with the Dream Team, what he's done with the Michael Jordan brand and the Air Jordan logo. He's also gotten into owning a team, the first ever player owner of a North American major sport in basketball. Sold the Charlotte Hornets, a billionaire, but he's also an incredible NASCAR owner. He is a worldly man. He's also very kind of reclusive. You don't see Michael Jordan every day doing a bunch of interviews on every podcast. He is this aura. He is this being. He is larger than life. He is the most legendary figure in American sports history. Michael Jordan, number 1. MJ 1, Brady 2, Michael Phelps 3, Muhammad Ali 4, Jackie Robinson 5, Tiger Woods 6, Jesse Owens 7, Babe Ruth 8, Dale Earnhardt 9, Joey Chestnut 10. Some honorable mention really quick. There are some people I've left off this list. The number 11 person, the person who's the closest to, and in 2 months from now, I might have to knock Joey Chestnut off the list and put this person in. That's Simone Biles. Simone Biles has a chance to complete an all-American story because she's like Tiger Woods, where she's done the rise, all-time great. She did the fall, the Tokyo Olympics. She's back up on the rise. If Simone Biles can win gold medals in Paris here in the next month and a half, she'll be on this list. She'll jump Joey Chestnut and make this list. Simone Biles is the toughest person to leave off. she is very close to completing legendary status with this comeback of hers in the Olympics. So Serena Williams, really tough to leave Serena Williams off the list. My knock on Serena, it's tennis. Is that a legendary American thing, tennis? I don't know. Like, I don't know if tennis belongs in the realm of the legendary stats, right? LeBron James close, but again, Michael is the only basketball player in this list. I couldn't find room for another basketball player. I only had one football player in the list. I only had Tom Brady. So that means, yeah, I left off Patrick Mahomes. I left off Peyton Manning. I left off Walter Payton, Jim Brown, some all-time legendary football names. Willie Mays, hard to leave off the list. Jim Brown, obviously, I mentioned. Hulk Hogan, really close to making the list. Again, you got to think of the list is legendary American athletes. Hulk Hogan's as legendary as it gets in one of America's most popular things to watch and sports entertainment in wrestling. And then Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane maybe seems like kind of the odd man out in this weird little bubble, but he's the greatest American hockey player ever. So hockey is one of the four big sports, and he is our greatest American hockey player ever, but I couldn't find the room for him on the list of the top 10 greatest athletes of all time. Legendary American athletes of all time. Again, quote, you got to put the legendary in there. That's what the aura, it's more than stats and things like this. These are the most legendary American athletes of all time. I tell you, those 10 names I put on there, 99% of Americans know those 10 names. That's what makes them legendary and puts them on the list. See you Saturday morning on News Talk 1070 KHMO and the KHMO app for On the Mark. Follow me on all social media at Mark Hespen, MarkHespn. Like and subscribe below. Share it. We appreciate it. We'll see you next Wednesday.